In this exciting design series, we'll be unveiling some remarkable and innovative designs from New York and the tri-state area.
This is a series about problem solving and design thinking, from large corporate cutting-edge innovations to individuals with unique design that will surprise and inspire.
Welcome to New York by Design.
We've gathered a group of New York design industry leaders via Zoom. We've tasked them with the job of judging each innovation and selecting our finalists before ultimately crowning one design project the winning innovation of the series.
The range of innovations on this show is amazing.
Product design, interfaces, digital.
The reality is that everything that surrounds us is designed by somebody. Every single thing.
I'm really interested in products that help change behavior, that are sustainable.
We're talking about innovation, we're talking about impact, and we're talking about good design.
I believe that good design has to look good.
And then there's always that wow factor. And the wow factor, you know right away, it just hits you in the gut.
The public is going to see what goes into these projects, like the models and prototypes.
And there is a common thread through there of people thinking carefully about these problems and coming up with really interesting solutions.
So let's get started with our first innovation.
This Missilium brick project is really interesting. Is it important to build a building that you can eat later? What is a building if it's not going to last until after dinner?
Well, I love the full circularity of the project, from nature back to nature.
Recycling is great, so instead of throwing things in the landfill and waiting years for them to disappear, having them return to nature in the most organic way.
Design innovation can happen in the most unlikely of places. Now, New York City generates over 1 million tons of compost each year. Now, this site is a part of a much bigger story and a really big idea. So, David, you are a compost guy, is that right?
No, actually, I'm an architect and designer. We created a new building product that starts just with earth like this, compost. Take, for example, corn. Take all the waste from growing corn, like the chopped up corn stalks and the husks, and take that waste and make a building product out of it. So this is some agricultural waste, some chopped up corn stover, and you can take this material, combine it with microscopic bits of Missilium, which is the root-like structure of mushrooms.
Okay.
And then in about 5 days, it grows into a solid object with no added energy. We've created a new kind of architectural brick. Basically a new low-carbon building material. It has very low environmental footprint. And even though it's lightweight, you can make a pretty strong and big structure out of it. This is a scale model of the structure that we built. It was 40 feet tall in real life.
Wow.
And this was in the courtyard of MoMA PS1 for 3 months of the summer. Outdoors with the rain falling on it, the sun hitting it. Then at the end of the summer, it was a temporary installation, so we had to take it down. We took the bricks, we brought them to this compost site here, crumbled them up into smaller pieces, and then after a couple of months, they returned to soil, which we could start the cycle again with. We could plant new crops and then have a new cycle of life.
So we're at the Healthier Materials Library here at Parsons School of Design, and students have really been embracing Missilium here, making everything from wall tiles to bricks, packaging. Conventional materials often have some toxic chemicals in them, or they have a big impact on climate change. Missilium doesn't, and it actually has positive impacts. So the students are taking this really seriously. I mean, they see the impact that this has on the world. So when they see materials, whether it's Missilium or this innovation in hempcrete here, and they see that this can really have a positive impact. It can be a fireproofing alternative to the kind of insulation that often has a lot of toxic chemicals in it, all while being innovative and leading the next generation of designers.
So Justin, these bricks came down and then they came here to you and you started breaking them down, right?
Yeah, that's what's amazing about these bricks is that they're actually compostable and they can be just broken apart.
The big idea here is that this is part of a whole cycle, right?
Yeah, you grow the corn, you make the product, in 50 years when the building is coming down, you can take it and compost it and make more corn, like sort of mimicking a complete ecological system.
This is a building material that's non-toxic enough that I would even let my own son take a bite of it.
How's it taste, Saul?
Like oatmeal.
So with 40% of the landfill in the world coming from architecture and construction waste, we really need to find new techniques and new materials to go easier on the planet. Now this mushroom brick may be part of the solution. I'm just not sure that I'm ready to eat it.
The next product is one of my favorite. It's the shower cap. I thought it was quite interesting that I was talking to about 4 or 5 bald men about a shower cap.
A lot of people have really sought this product out because they identified a hole, a gap in the market.
And there's nothing better than getting a product that does what it promises.
New York has been the fashion capital of the world, and in fact this garment district has been producing the majority of fashion clothing for America for the last 50, 60 years. Now it's all coming back here, so rather than producing offshore, there's a resurgence.
I have reinvented a household item that almost every woman in the world has a need for, and I did that through the power of design.
And you're manufacturing here in the United States, yes?
Yes, the product is printed, cut, sewn right here
So
in the
what
US.
stopped you from manufacturing offshore?
For me, it was about quality and control of the process.
Can I see it? Can I find out what this product is?
Yeah.
Is it only for women or can I use it too?
You can totally use it.
Okay, good. So it's a shower cap, your innovation.
Yeah.
And it's shower cap.
Yeah, when I first started this journey to develop a new type of shower cap, there was tacky prints, multi-layer, not waterproof, and just plastic. Crinkly, ugly plastic. Animals, which is just no self-respecting woman could ever feel good in.
Now this is something like my daughter would wear, you know, like for a child maybe, right?
Yep.
And these things, I think, they were invented around 1960, right?
Yes, I will not condone that
So
shower
I can't
cap.
wait to try yours. Okay, there's my waterproof turban.
Yeah.
I think I need one of these. So I shower less. Rubbing your hair, causing that kind of friction is a way of losing, especially if your hair is thinning, right?
Yeah.
So very nice product.
Thank
Really.
you. We have a premium nanotech fabric typically seen in activewear, waterproof kind of mountain gear, tents, things like that. There's also properties that we were able to bring to the fabric, like it being antimicrobial, so it never gets moldy. The stitching is quality, but we also have a rubber grip on the inside for better hairline protection. The fabric is breathable, so your hair never gets humid or frizzy. The elastic is encased in our waterproof fabric so that the water doesn't erode it and it keeps its integrity.
I think this is a very good example of a startup. It's taken what existed on the market, a banal product on the market, that's never really been addressed in about 50, 60 years. So design evolves us and moves us forward.
The next project is the Adobe Fresco.
From a technology point of view, this is very difficult to do, and it was beautifully solved.
I'm not an artist. I can't wait to use that app.
It's a game changer. It's a complete game changer.
You know, the world of design and the world of fine art are actually much more closely related than people think they are. Both involve meticulous observation and then reinterpreting that observation into a manifested artifact. I'm really excited that Jinjin is here at my studio to show how that is going to a whole new level that is going to set the fine art world on fire.
As an oil painter, as someone who works in mediums like this, it's been really exciting for me because I'm also a member of Adobe's New York design team, and I work on Adobe Fresco. So the goal with Fresco is to get this beautiful analog quality into a digital environment.
Uh-huh.
So this is Fresco. Let me show you our digital oil paints. So you'll see when I'm painting here,
Oh, wow.
we've already got that kind of 3D streaky
Looks so
texture
real.
in here. And then when we bring in extra color, I get that same gorgeous blending, smudging effect.
Amazing.
Do you want to try?
Whoa.
Yeah,
look
check
at
out that rainbow effect you just created.
Yeah.
You don't have to clean your brush in between. That's an advantage of
Oh, what did
digital.
I just do there? Look at this.
I'm going to show you watercolor now.
Okay.
So with watercolor, you know, the amount of water on your brush affects the paint effect you get. So I have a pretty wet color here, and then there's also blending effects you get when you mix colors. You can see there. So we've, again, tried to take the best of both worlds of this into Fresco, and I can blend another color into it, and look at how those blend together.
It keeps blending after you've taken the stylus off the screen, just like real watercolor
Yep,
would.
and actually Fresco is now available also on the iPhone, so the rectangle gets even smaller. And I created this completely on my phone using Fresco, and it has all those same brushes we were just looking at. So now I'm actually painting with watercolor using my finger right on my phone. But there's one more thing I want to bring up, and that's a collaboration feature. Kyle and I are working on something together right now.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle. Hey, Will. So I'm going to open it up to see what Kyle's given me.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, look at him. He's like a magical mystery wizard.
One more thing I think we should definitely do, Kyle, is add some visible magic kind of sparkles coming out of the hands and the wand. We've actually got this really cool sparkle brush, and now we've got stars. Yeah, just like
so
that.
cool.
Yeah, we've got some great brushes that you actually don't have in real life.
Oh man, draw me like one of your French girls. Sure, why not? Charcoal is something I use all the time, and using it here feels exactly like the real thing. I'm drawing in charcoal. The fact that you could just take this with you like you would a sketchbook, I mean, that's such a powerful idea to have that kind of control. I slip it in my backpack and just go for a little walk. I see something I want to draw, boom. If I'm on a flight, ready to go to the client, just email it and you're good to go. If I want to do a live stream, I just tell everybody, hey guys, I'm going live, and right from inside the app, I start broadcasting, and they can comment and chat and ask me questions while I'm drawing. Okay, check it out and tell me what you think. Oh man, that is so awesome. My beard has never looked better, and it looks like a real sketch from a real sketchbook. Being able to share it with anybody in real time or not, I mean, that's what the future of, I think, art is, and I think we're getting a glimpse into that right now.
Well, Small Garden by EDN is the brand. It uses technology to connect us with nature.
And really acknowledging some of the struggles that people have with keeping indoor plants alive.
I have a confession to make. I've been a plant killer for many years. Give me a plant in my apartment, and it's gonna be dead in a couple of days. This innovation starts with one man that had the seed of an idea. And that's the man. You're a plant killer too, right?
Well, I used to be, but I'm not anymore. Everything I put in my apartment, I killed. I started Eden to bring the beauty and the wonder of nature into people's lives, but to help people like me that kill plants, right? Because we don't have the time or the space or the expertise. And what the name Eden stands for is engineering, design, and nature.
A computer. So technology and nature combined together is almost magic.
We combine a small computer with our seed pods that have everything needed to grow herbs, vegetables, and flowers right in your home. And combined with our product, the Small Garden, it makes you that master gardener, so you don't need the time or the space or the expertise. You can now grow anything. You can even do things like moss roses and marigolds, these beautiful flowers like living art. And we've combined this really convenient way of growing with what we call seed pods. And so these are an engineered soil that has just the perfect amount of plant food, so everything you grow thrives. You just drop this in your small garden, and then within just a month and a half, you've got full-grown plants like this basil, and it all just snaps right in place and is easy to use right in your kitchen.
So I get all this, but this is the plant. But then you were talking also about the computer.
And so the computer monitors the water level, it controls the lights, we even monitor the temperature and the humidity.
So essentially, you make it impossible to kill those plants. Even if you want to, you just can't.
Even you, Mauro, cannot kill a plant with the Eden Small Garden.
So here we are in the typical setting in this beautiful kitchen, a place where the small garden lives, right? And how does it work?
So everything's powered by our app. It'll let you know when to trim and when to harvest. It'll let you turn on and off the lights. It'll even send you a message on when to add water to your garden.
So even if I'm away and I'm traveling, I can control everything from there.
Yeah, you can control your garden from anywhere in the world.
Often we think that technology is an antagonist of nature. This is a wonderful example of how technology can enhance nature. I think this is really gonna change my relationship with plants. A new love story is about to blossom.
The disaster relief folding pod was such a heartfelt project for me.
I think it's great that the Hariri sisters, besides having a great practice and their architectural firm, they're also thinking to help people.
We're getting a peek inside their process here and how they're figuring out these problems. And that's really interesting to get inside the mind of the designer and get inside the design process.
Architects are used to thinking big. And that's exactly how the Hariri sisters have been winning awards for years right here in their New York City office. But the sisters' current idea is probably the biggest one they've had yet.
In majority of big cities, housing has turned, unfortunately, into commodity. People are building multi-million-dollar apartments, look around you, that no one can afford, and actually the ones who buy it, they don't live in it. The issue is majority of people cannot afford living in big cities.
Poverty has created such a need for just a simple, basic shelter. This project is for a very humble, efficient shelter that we call pod. It starts completely flat and then it unfolds to create space and a shelter for someone to live in.
So by creating different sizes and configurations and joining them, you have communities, you can create villages.
You can put these pods in different locations, whether it's a desert in Middle East or in California, green area after the fires. We have also recently done a project in Afghanistan for a community of all women who need protection and shelter and where they can heal and have their children grow up.
So once you had your renderings done, then you started to explore three-dimensionally and how those joints actually work.
The project, as we envisioned it, had a lot of challenges. Not only it had to fold, it had to unfold. We finally went into this larger model. We wanted to make sure that the concept model works with real materials, which we are going to see today.
I'm really excited to be here today while you're seeing it for the first time. Richard, where are you? I know you're not in New York.
I'm in the West Country of England, in a county called Devon. Lovely rolling hills and just the open countryside.
It's gorgeous there. Well, are you ready?
It might not happen too fast, but it'll get there.
Fantastic! When we see the armies and volunteers put these shelters together, it takes around 10 people.
That's right.
If I was homeless, I'd be very happy to have a pod even this size, the half-scale size. You can fit a bed in there, you can sleep, it's sheltered. It's simple, it's elegant. It's something you can be proud of, I think.
The Hariri sisters' dream has been to save human life. And we are very, very excited to see our invention is finally taking shape.
It's so excited. I can't believe I was here to see it happen first.
No matter what the cause, homeless is homeless, and everyone has the right to a warm, dry, safe place to live.
Which design innovation from the series do you think should win? Vote for your favorite project in the Nambe People's Choice Award. Just by casting your vote, you could win one of 3 designer homewares: Steve Casalino's Curvo wine rack, Karim Rashid's Morphic chip and dip, and Scott Henderson's chillable salad bowl with servers. All commissioned by Nambe. Design your life. Just go to newyorkbydesign.com or scan the QR code on the screen and cast your vote in the Nambe People's Choice Award. Good luck. We're moments away from finding out which innovations our judges have chosen to go through to the best of the best final later in the season. But first, let's take a look at a ByDesign spotlight. I know the show is New York by Design, but last winter I had the chance to travel to Florida to check out the leading edge of technologically advanced skincare. This is science meets ergonomics meets an ancient healing tradition. So Dr. Aguilera, this is the Dermapen 4. How does it exactly work?
Well, Gary, have you ever heard about acupuncture?
Of course.
Of course. So we borrow from that old Asian technology where they discovered that whenever you put a needle in the skin needs to repair itself. You see this little tip here? There's 16 needles.
Just in that little tip?
Just in that little tip.
Wow.
And it moves 120 oscillations per second.
Wait a second, 120 oscillations per second. I mean, that's amazing.
That's too fast for you to quantify. Allowing this device to glide over the skin and create microchannels that will cause the skin to heal itself. You can actually change the depth of penetration to customize treatments for each individual patient.
So what conditions would you use this for?
Most of the skin conditions that I treat, starting with acne, rosacea, pigmentation, scars, and stretch marks. It's really hard to treat skin colors with energy devices, lasers, or other devices that create too much heat on our skin. With the Dermapen, now we have a digital type of microneedling that can address every problem that a skin of color may have.
Okay, so what's May's condition?
Well, as you can notice, May's condition, she has a few areas of hyperpigmentation, these brown spots that seems to bother her. And May, could you smile for us? As you can see when May smiles, we have crow's feet, which are the wrinkles around the eyes, and we also have laugh blind. Basically what Kelly's doing in May's skin, she's prepping her and adding the bioactive ingredients that are gonna be driven into the skin. I have here the Uber Pro, which is a chemical peel. It's designed to put immediately after the microneedling technique that is going to help with the pigmentation. Also, it's gonna help the tone and texture of the skin. When we're done with this treatment, she's gonna have a calming mask that still has the active ingredient for her hyperpigmentation. Then she'll go home with a nice little package designed just for her and her skin concern to enhance the results of this treatment.
The Dermapen 4 sets the bar for microneedling, and it's coming to New York, soon to a dermatologist near you.
So, which of the innovations have our judges selected to go to the best of the best final later in the series?
Missilium brick, we think it's a very interesting solution.
I really love the fact that the project's so sustainable, very well deserved.
I am a big fan of the shower cap and would love for it to go all the way to the top.
It's not easy to spot these, what we call need gaps in the market. So they deserve the accolades.
It was a tough call to get Fresco into the top 10.
I was a little bit concerned with the number of judges that aren't really into graphics. So I think that this gives us at least some representation in this dimension.
Congratulations to those innovations, and best of luck to them in the final. Join us next time for more design innovations on New York by Design.
For more information on any of the innovations featured and to cast your vote in the People's Choice Award, go to newyorkbydesign.com.